Who is Jesus? Jesus is God. There is only one God, existing in three persons. The second person in Trinity is Jesus, 100% God and 100% human. God knowingly sent Jesus to the world. Both God the Father and Jesus knew that one day, Jesus would be crucified by wicked, cruel men. It was a choice. Jesus didn't have to come. But Jesus and God the Father loved us, and Jesus came into this world. He came as a human being born like us, and underwent all this physical suffering. Did it pain for Jesus? Yes, it did. Did it hurt God the Father seeing all that his Son had to go, though? Yes, it did. Because of the great love for me, all the physical suffering was endured. Jesus knew all the time that he would be crucified. Just imagine that if we come to know that we would die in pain, suffering a lot, would we have any peace of mind? The thought itself would torture us all the days of our lives. Jesus knew this, that he would die, and would die a painful, shameful death. The mental suffering was at the peak as he poured out in prayer before being betrayed by Judas. And being in an agony, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat was as it were great drops of blood falling down to the ground. Jesus suffered such mental agony. When a child suffers on deathbed, the parent's mental agony is something which cannot be described. The child goes through the pain, emotional suffering. By seeing the suffering child, the parents go through immense mental and emotional struggle. That's how God the Father felt when he saw his Son Jesus in agony. And being in an agony, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat was as it were great drops of blood falling down to the ground. All this mental agony was endured because of the great love with which he loved us. Throughout eternity, God the Father and Jesus the Son was one. Now to save the world from sin, justice has to be served. Jesus took our sins on him and paid the penalty. The one who knew no sin became sin for us. God is of pure eyes to behold evil. God is perfectly holy and pure. There is no sin in God. Because of sin, Adam and Eve, who were in fellowship with God, was separated from God's presence. Sin separates a person from God. When the sin of the whole world was put on Jesus, God the perfect judge turned away from his Son whom he loved. Imagine a judge having to sentence his son to death due to a crime committed. Justice demands the Son to be sentenced. The Father gives the verdict. But imagine the mental suffering both the parent and the Son has to go through. Here Jesus and God the Father, who were perfectly one, had to endure the spiritual suffering of separation as the sin of the whole world was laid on Jesus. Jesus always used to address God as Father. When the sin was laid on Jesus, the spiritual separation caused him to address as God. And in all the physical, mental, and spiritual agony, he cried out, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?" All this was because of the great love of God the Father and Jesus for a sinner like me.